A female conductor was standing at the entrance. Her skin was as white as snow, and although her smile was bright, it was terribly cold. She looked like a living person. As expected, Lu Karen beside him whispered to them, "This is a robot." Jang Yi suddenly realized that it was no wonder that he had such a gloomy feeling. This was probably the uncanny valley effect. The female conductor bowed to everyone and said, "Everyone, please board the Blizzard train number 13. Jang Yi walked up first with a calm face. After getting on the train, everyone found that this place was indeed different from an ordinary subway. From the seats to the floor and interior, it was completely different from a civilian subway. Jang Yi was not a talkative person, so he found a seat in the middle and sat down. Zhou Kier and Lu Karen quickly sat next to him. This carriage was relatively spacious and everyone should have a seat. But no one dared to sit next to Jang Yi and others, or next to the leaders of the three major forces. Zhou Kier and Lu Karen had tense expressions at first, but later they were so bored that they leaned on Zhang Yi's shoulders and fell asleep. But Zhang Yi didn't sleep. When he thought about arriving at the legendary Blizzard City soon, he was not sleepy at all. After the train had been running in the dark for an hour and a half, it suddenly stopped midway. However, the door opened, and Zhang Yi and his companions could vaguely see the people rushing into another carriage. They were wearing clothes that were completely different from those of Zhang Yi and his companions, but they should also be special clothes with advanced cold-proof capabilities. As the light in the subway was very dim, Zhang Yi could not see their appearance clearly, but he could feel the murderous aura in the air in the shadows. Obviously, this group of people were the doomsday rulers of another city, and they were also ruthless characters who had fought their way out of the sea of blood and corpses. Sure enough, all those who went to Blizzard City this time were ruthless people. Zhang Yi could not help but sigh, but when they heard Zhang Yi say this, Xing Tian, Xiao Honglian, and others looked at him with extremely strange eyes. Ruthless people? Are you talking about them? They are ruthless. Then you are Satan. Although Zhang Yi repeatedly reminded them not to reveal any information about him to the outside world, especially his strength. But everyone in Tianhai City knew that Yuan Kongye, who was originally in the realm of Ypsilon, was killed by Zhang Yi. And Zhang Yi, who absorbed the essence of Yuan Kongye, is now so terrifying that it is unimaginable. In fact, Zhang Yi always tends to forget how powerful he is. He feels that he is just an ordinary person, and he often reminds himself of this. Only in this way will he not be proud and complacent and make mistakes like Yuan Kongye did. Zhang Yi folded his arms and quietly observed everything outside. Soon the train started again. This scene continued 9 more times. Zhang Yi didn't know which batch of passengers he was on the train, but according to the geographical location, it shouldn't be too late. Through this, we can judge how many cities in Jiangnan district have large-scale mutant forces, because small-scale forces do not need to be summoned by Jiangnan district in person. After a long journey, the train finally stopped at a brightly lit platform. When the train entered the platform, Zhang Yi and his team knew that it must be Jinling. Because only Blizzard City and Jinling is still able to maintain the normal operation of subway traffic, there will be lights. The female conductor said, "Everyone, the terminal station Blizzard City has arrived. Please pack your luggage and belongings and get off the car as soon as possible." Zhang Yi slowly stood up and said lightly, "Let's go." The eyes of the others were a little nervous. They stood up involuntarily and waited for Zhang Yi to lead the way out. Zhou Kier and Lu Karen were even more cautious, not leaving Zhang Yi's side for a moment. When Zhang Yi stepped out of the subway and came outside, he saw that the doors of more than a dozen carriages were opened, and groups of warriors dressed in combat uniforms and armed to the teeth walked out. Everyone seemed like an ancient, heavy armored warrior, wrapped in heavy combat uniforms. People stood side by side, shoulder to shoulder, looking at each other with fearful and cold eyes. Among this group of people, there were also people with unique clothes and even thin clothes. There were even some giants who were 4 or 5 meters tall and had to squat to crawl out. There were all kinds of people, making the entire subway platform look like an international exposition. A solemn and strange atmosphere filled the place. Zhou Ke and Lu Keran's faces were pale, and they could not bear the murderous aura that permeated the place. It was not that these warriors were deliberately releasing murderous aura to intimidate others, because murderous aura itself is a kind of breath that naturally appears on the body after killing too much. The nose cannot smell it, the naked eye cannot see it, but the body's instinct can detect it. At this moment, Jang Yi suddenly felt a few unfriendly eyes coming from the side, looking at them. He subconsciously looked over. The teams in the carriage next to them were staring at them without any hesitation. Not only Jang Yi, but others also gradually discovered the unkindness of this group of people. Xiao Hongliang frowned and reminded Jang Yi, "They are from Days City. Did you see that bald man? His name is Sun Jianming, and he also controls a fleet. He had friction with Chao Yu base at sea before." Days City. Jang Yi was very familiar with this city because it was on the southwest side of Tianhai City, adjacent to Tianhai City. He used to visit this city often. Zhang Yi said calmly, "Don't pay attention to them for now. Let's deal with things here first. This is Blizzard City. No one dares to act rashly here. What's more, if these people really don't know whether to live or die, Zhang Yi is not afraid of them." After hearing Zhang Yi's words, the people from several forces felt a little more at ease. The stability of Tianhai City now depends on Zhang Yi and his team. The mutant forces in Days City saw that Zhang Yi and others did not react and thought it was a sign of cowardice. Sun Jianming sneered, crossed his arms, and said, "It seems that Tianhai City has really been beaten to pieces. They were very arrogant in the past. I heard that Wei Dinghai is dead, and the power of Chao Yu base is under the control of that pretty boy. When Tianhai City was strong in the past, every force was strong. Sun Jianming's forces often collided with the Chao Yu base at sea, but they had to give way every time. Not far from Sun Jianming, a woman with big wavy hair and flaming red lips smiled coquettishly. Look at their team. There are only a few people. It seems that the rumors are true. Tianhai City is so big and prosperous, but now it is dwindling. What a waste. This woman is Gu Hongdi, the leader of another force in Days City. In addition to the two of them, Chen Liangyu, the leader of another force, is also here. He was wrapped tightly around his body with a blue scarf wrapped around his neck. He looked at Zhang Yi and the others with a sinister look, but he didn't say a word. But from his eyes, it was not difficult to see that he also had ideas about the people in Tianhai City. Not only them. There were also several other organizations in the surrounding cities of Tianhai City, and they were also looking at Zhang Yi and others with the eyes of examining prey. In the end times, the law of the jungle is universal. If you don't have enough strength but have a lot of resources, you will definitely be coveted by others. Zhang Yi heard their conversation and smiled faintly. They think there is no one left in our Tianhai City. Interesting.